Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well and had a great weekend and actually a great week last week and ready for another episode of the Weekly Exhale. Um, I'm Dr. Jada. I'm your host of the Weekly Exhale, a double board certified physician, coach, speaker, best-selling author, and entrepreneur. I help high achieving and results driven women to not only weigh less, but to further your personal success, whether it's through my medical office, my online content, my coaching and retreats. I want you to not only look great, but feel better and live at your best. So today we are going to jump in and continue our series, The Exit Strategy. I don't know if you have been here for the very first time or if you have been here for the entire series in the month of July, or maybe you are just jumping in here and there. I want you to know that we missed you and you're in the right place today, and we're going to do good things together. And this is worth the start to your Monday, the start to your week. I know it's tough to be here at 8 in the morning, but I want to catch you before you lock in to everybody else's agenda, before you start to become everything to everybody. I like for you to start the week with you in mind. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I hope that you felt like in week one that you were awakened. And I hope that you realize that there is an option. There is an option. So I hope in week two, there was a little bit of a disruption there that would say, hey, wait a minute, I do have options. Where am I acting like I don't have options? And then today we're going to go into week three to say, hey, this is how we start identifying those options. So before we go any further this morning, I want you to take a pause, get your beverage of the morning, um, maybe text a friend, a coworker, neighbor, relative, someone that you think would really benefit from hearing this and being a part of this community. First of all, it's not just the session, but the community. And invite them, send them the link, let them know that we are here and ready for them today. And I'll give you a moment to do that. And I'm going to just let you soak into the moment. I'm going to put some gloss on for the morning. I'm feeling like I need a little gloss today. All right, take a second to get them in, get them in, get them in, get your beverage. Do what you gotta do. And we're going to step right in. Man, I'm so ready for today. I was so busy over the weekend, but a good kind of busy, like a productive kind of busy. So it wasn't anything that I didn't enjoy. I helped my niece. She moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to Raleigh. So she transferred from, not transferred, but graduated from Davidson College. And now she's going to be going into a doctoral program at Duke. So we're really super excited to see her progress and her journey and all of those things. So, all right, did you get your people here? Did you get your people here? So, what I want to do this morning is I want to go a little bit back, and I'm going to stay on time today because I know some of the teachers are going back today. So, shout out to our teachers, y'all, our educators, those administrators, those that are loving on our children when we when we drop them off for a whole day or so at a time. So y'all shout out to our crew here. So this morning I want you to just position yourself if you've already, can y'all see me? If you've already gotten your folks and gotten your beverage, I want you to just position yourself in the most loose way of all. And remember, you don't always have to do these sessions in a chair. You don't have to sit at a desk. You don't have to be in a chair. You don't have to, if you have the option. Sometimes it's good to just sit crisscross applesauce. Sometimes it's good to just, be outside for a session. Just grab your phone. Sometimes it's good to be walking while you're doing a session. It's totally okay. This is a time that all of your senses are available and are here to soak in the moment. And this should feel relaxed. This should feel personal. This is not a lecture. This is not something you are having to quote unquote lock in on per se. This is not what that is. I want you to somatically engage in a way that this becomes natural for you to absorb, for you to feel it. You'll feel this in your legs, in your ears, in your everywhere. You'll start to feel the essence of what and the energy of what is coming forward. So I want y'all always to be relaxed when you can. I know sometimes if you're driving or whatever, but even if you're driving, maybe let your seat back a little bit. I want you to be able to feel this. A lot of times we do so much thinking that we lose the feeling element of things. And the feeling element really is a sensing and a knowing that we have gotten away from, that we really want to begin to use. You remember that gut feeling kind of thing, that gut sensing that we used to rely on? There was once upon a time that that's all the ancestors had. They didn't have navigators, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have ways, Google. So intuition and gut and wherewithal, all of those things were the tools that they used to guide daily life. So I want you to start tapping into that more. We always think, analyze, analyze, analyze. Free up the brain that's at the top of your head and your skull, and let the other tentacles of your brain begin to take action. There are other parts of your brain, even your gut. Your gut really is your second brain. So a lot of times people say the gut feeling because it is the second brain. Embryologically, the gut and the brain are formed from the same tissue. That's why it has such a sensory connection. So, hey, I want y'all to loosen up. Loosen up. It's important, guys. It's important, ladies. It's important for us to use our other senses. That's what keeps us from feeling exhausted and worn out and always having the need to feel exact. So there we go. I said all of that to say today's session is the session of yes. Y'all know Shonda Rhimes wrote the book, The Year of Yes. I don't know if we're all ready for the year of yes. Did y'all read the book? How many of you all read the book, The Year of Yes? Y'all remember that? This was probably about, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe about 8 years ago. It was sometime, I feel like it was before the pandemic because I had the book before then. But anyway, today is just going to be 35 minutes of yes. How about that? I want you to give yourself permission to want more in this session. This is what we're talking about, giving ourselves permission to want more. You know what that translates into is yes. It translates into yes. Yes, the first yes is just giving ourselves permission to want more. Okay, I want you to say it with me today. Yes, I want more. Yes, I want more. And you wanting more is not going to stop somebody else from having more. That's one thing that we think about as givers, is that we're blessed and we have so much and we're all so grateful. And that if we have one more blessing, it's going to steal somebody else's. It's going to take out of the basket, that they won't have something because we got it. And I want us to challenge that thought, that In the mindset of abundance, there is no lack, there's no shortage, there's no nothing missing. Your blessing is not going to take away from someone else's blessing. Your gifting is not going to take away from somebody else's gifting. I want us to start to recognize that there is space for every yes. And I don't think we have given yes enough attention because we're so accustomed to saying no to ourselves that we haven't given our yes enough attention. So that's what I want us to think about. And I want you to feel this in your gut. I want you to feel this in your body. I want you to feel this in your fingertips, in your heart space, in your belly space. I don't want you to be so cerebral today. I'm inviting you to put your brain to the side. We're going to screw them off and put them to the side and let your gut be your guide. Let your innards tell you your yes, invite you into permission. Let your innards, because our brains will tell us we don't have enough this. If we do this, then something else is going to suffer. We're so dichotomous now. There was a conversation that I was having with someone, and they were like, no, it can't be that. And I said, two things can be true. Two things can be true. You can relax and the work can get done. I know it sounds oxymoron, but I'm telling you, I'm inviting us into this way of sensing and feeling and being a little bit somatic. That means using the body to understand our yes and our no. Not just our brains, not just our logic. So here we go, everybody. Let's get this first breath in because I'm already like all over the place with my time, and I want to make sure we get a chance to give every moment its due. So I just want you to take a moment to put your hands wherever they feel comfortable. And in fact, I invite you to put them somewhere that you don't always put them. Invite yourself to something different today. Lay on the floor, sit on the floor, lean on the side of the bed, get on your porch, invite yourself to do something different. Let your arms flail if you want them to. Let your body fall back. Do something childlike and silly where you're hanging off. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment and just feel your body. We're going to do this quickly, y'all. We're going to do this quickly. I want you to feel your body. And you're like, what does that mean? I want you to just kindly place your hands on parts of your body and just take a message, a brief message. Take an inventory. Just breathe in and out. I'm not going to give you a certain way to breathe because I don't want you thinking. I want you feeling. Just feel your neck as you breathe in and out. Just feel your shoulders. Take inventory as you breathe in and out. Do it at your own pace. Feel your chest as you breathe in and out. Just take inventory. Feel the side walls. You may want to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do it if you choose to. Just as you're doing that, I'm going to change positions myself. Just in doing that, my body told me to go lower. So now I'm lower, I'm on the ground. So you may be getting messages. Listen to them. Listen to them. Go all the way down to your belly, our solar plexus, our root chakra, sacral chakra. Go down to your hips, either side of those. Feel them and deep breathe. Go down your thigh. Feel them and deep breathe. Keep going down your calf. Deep breathe to your ankles and down to your feet. Oh, the awareness that we're jumping into just by putting our brain to the side and being with our bodies. Yes. So now that we are here, we're going to scoot through week one. What decision have you made? Week one was all about decision making. The exit strategy starts with a decision, not a door. It starts with a decision, not a door. What decision have you made that perhaps no one even knows about yet? And when I ask you that question, where do you feel it? Where do you feel it? Maybe nothing has changed yet on the outside. Maybe it's just the decision has moved and shifted some things on the inside. That's cool too. Now, week two, what are you no longer willing to participate in? That was our strong no. It was probably a soft no last week, but we're strengthening it. And we're strengthening it because we're going to step into our strong yes, right? So, week two, what are you no longer willing to participate in? And if you weren't here, that's fine. You know, it's a knee jerk. It's a knee jerk. It's in your body. What am I no longer here for? What subscription has expired, but I'm still getting the notifications? Where do you feel that in your body? Even if you haven't left yet, what is it that you're no longer in agreement with? It just isn't working. Y'all know my term. This ain't it. I might not know what is, but this ain't it. What do you no longer agree with? This is not the same size anymore. What are you ready to right size? And remember, no isn't always an event. It's not always it's got these signs and bells and whistles. No could be silent. Because remember, this is our language to ourselves. It could be simply, no can simply be a change or a shift in direction. No, I'm no longer here for this. Pivot, move. Remember, we did our sessions on pivot. If you all did not hear the pivot series, please go back to the replay. On that note, with the replay for the last week, there was a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to go back and redo the session for last week. So y'all be with me energetically because I'm so much better when I'm with you. So today we're going to come to an even more difficult question. And I say that because, believe it or not, I think today's question is harder than the first two. Sometimes we know what we're no longer here for. We know what's expired. We know what we're sick and tired of. But we don't know what we want, right? So if I asked you right now, what do you want? Could you really wholeheartedly answer that in a sentence just like that? Probably not. I mean, really, we don't give ourselves permission to have a strong want. We don't give ourselves, we talk ourselves out of it, which is why I've asked you to put your brain, your logic brain to the side today and feel it in your body. What do you want? What do you want? I want you to take a moment even and say to yourself, say it out loud. You can come off mute for that. You can come off mute and say, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And I want you to, every time your brain tries to reroute you to the fact that you can't want much because everybody else needs things, I want you to skip out on that. Just imagine nobody needed anything from you. Nobody needed anything. Everything else is smooth sailing. It's going the way that it's going. It doesn't need anything else from you. It's all good. My question would be, what do you want? So ask yourself, what do I want? I didn't ask, what do my children need right now from me? I didn't ask you, what does my husband, my spouse, my SO need? I didn't ask, what does my company need from me right now? What does my business need from me? I didn't ask, what do, in my case, my patients need from me? Maybe in some of your students, my colleagues, my team. I didn't say, what does the church need, the sorority need? None of that. What is it that I need? Ask yourself, what is it that I want? Y'all, I'm going on this moment because I've asked hundreds and maybe over time thousands of women this question. And do you know what usually happens? They freeze. And you know why? I know most of us are in the Strong Women Club here. Why do strong women struggle with a personal yes? High achieving women have become experts at responsibility. Experts at responsibility. We know exactly what needs to be done. If we don't know exactly, we got a pretty good idea and we got enough to go on so that we can make a move, right? We know who's counting on us. We know who's depending on us. We know what's due. We know the deadlines. We know the assignments. We know what's urgent. We know what's expected. We know what's necessary. We know what's got to go. We know, we've spent so much time responding that somewhere along the way, many of us have stopped imagining. Let me run that back. We've spent so much time, effort, energy, conditioning on responding and having the right response, the fast response, the quick response, the safe response, that we've just lost our imagination. We've lost our wonder. That part of us that just daydreams about the things we want. Who daydreams about things that they need? No. Who daydreams about things that should be happening? Nobody. Feel that. Feel that. Remember as a kid, hopefully you remember what it's like to daydream. To daydream. To imagine. To let the clouds of responsibility move on and let the clouds of wondering settle in. So, quick question. I wonder, when was the last time you wanted something simply because it would bring you joy? Simply because it would bring you joy. Not because it was productive, not because it was affordable, not because it made you more money, not because it helped someone, not because it looked good, not because it made you feel responsible, not because it was performative and it gets you some more attaboys, attagirls, pats on your back, not because it gets recognition from folks on the outside, but simply because it made your soul come alive. Not because it's an escape, not because it's a getaway, not because of anything other than it filled your soul. I think a lot of times we lose sight of that version of ourselves. I want you to think about children. Think about it. If you ask the 5-year old, what do you want? You probably get 20 answers. I want ice cream and I want a Lego and I want a da da da. And they're like going on. And I want to go to the park and I want to, if you ask a 5-year old, you get 20 questions, 20 answers. They don't apologize, they don't over explain, they don't justify, they don't do the math first. They simply allow their imagination to run wild. But somewhere between childhood and adulthood, especially those of us who are here who are Black women, especially those who have been caregivers, we slowly lose that imagination and it becomes replaced with obligation. And y'all, I want you to stay with me in the feeling of this. Don't get too heady again. Feel this. Feel your body. Just feel this. And I hear you. I hear you like, what am I supposed to do? It's hard out here for a sister. We out here trying to get it. We out here trying to make it happen. We trying to retire. We trying, all the things. I get that. But two things can be true. Two things can be true. Two things can be true. So ask yourself, where have I replaced imagination with obligation? Where is every decision of yes for myself required me to put some stuff to the side and factor in all the other things and situations and circumstances that may talk me out of my yes? And eventually we become very, very familiar to others, but strangers to ourselves when it comes to desires. We just lose them over time. We just lose them. We over explain why they couldn't happen. Yeah, I like to do X, Y, and Z, but there's always a but that's right there to knock that thought out of the way, that desire out of the way. And we're back to square one. So remember the topic here today, the theme. Remember the theme now. Can some of y'all the theme in the chat for me? I want to know who's listening. Y'all listening? July series, which we're going to split. We're going to move into August with it as well. I added a couple more weeks. Exit strategy. Put it in the chat. Exit strategy. Exit strategy. So let's bring this conversation today into context. Exit strategy. Thank you. Exit strategy. Exit strategy. How can you leave somewhere? How can you exit and not know where you want to go? How can you exit and not even know where you want to go? What's the point? You're leaving a building, leaving an event, but don't know where you want to go next. Think about that. Think about it. Where do I want to go? And I want to be really specific in this conversation, the difference between goals and a yes, because really sophisticated, responsible, strong women, we're full of goals. But this is not about goals. And goals, don't get me wrong, are not bad. They help us achieve, and we're good at that, right? They give us, roadmaps, and we get our kudos from our goals. They inspire us. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with a good goal. Goals are wonderful. But I'm talking about something deeper than a goal. What's deeper than that is a yes. See, you have to have that first. So let me give you some examples. Like your yes. Y'all answer this for me. Let's say I want to lose 20 pounds. Is that a yes or is that a goal? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We got work to do today. Come on. Hmm? 20 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. Is that a yes or is that a goal? It is a goal. It is a goal. It is a goal. It is a goal. What's the possibility for the yes? What's the possibility for the yes, though? That's not a goal. What is the possibility for the yes? I'll say this, wanting to, I make it real. So my goal was to build muscle over the summer, to really start to recomposition my body with intention, with strategy, with delight. I'm a walker, y'all. I'm a walker. I love to power walk and I love to be outside. And so embracing the fact that I'm gonna be lifting some weights. And for what that requires, the outcome is gonna require me to do something different. So I gotta say no to something and yes to something. So I knew that I was gonna be saying yes to some method of weight training, lifting. And so many of y'all know I've been choosing the kettlebell journey, which I am absolutely loving. But the goal was, yes, I want to build muscle, but most importantly, the yes is I want to feel alive in my body. That was the yes. I want to feel alive in my body. I want to feel strong in my body. I want to feel capable in my body. I want to function in a way that gives me confidence, and I want to function in a way that allows me to know that what I'm doing now, it fortifies me for the next 10, 20 years. You get all you see how the goal was like, oh, I want to build more muscle. Yeah, that's real straightforward. But I'm coming alive when I think about all that I want and what does the goal allow me to have? What does it afford me? So like just the change in my body, I can feel little flutters, and now I'm imagining I'm seeing myself at 75 with my heels on, with my yes. So, what is your yes and what is your goal? What's the difference in the two? And how, let's say, for example, I want another promotion. I want a promotion. I want another job. I want more money. So therefore I want another job. Is that a goal or is that a yes? Put it in the chat. I want a promotion or I want another job. Is that a goal or is it a yes? Let's for the business owners, I want another client. Is that a goal or is that a yes? It's a goal. It's a goal. Because what could your yes be? What could the yes to yourself be? What if what if it were like, I just want more meaningful work? So it's not the goal of a promotion, but what does the yes mean for me? I want more meaningful work. I want something that allows me to come alive again. I want to feel like I'm really making a difference. I want to feel like I'm moving something forward. Maybe for another client, we all want more clients because, more clients mean more revenue, all of that. But what if we took that goal and turned it into a yes? We took the stress of it, of going out hunting and all of those things, and being on social media unnecessarily or because we have to, and going to things that we don't want to do. What if I just wanted to meet new people? What if I just want to meet new people? I want to meet cool people. I want to be around people that I vibe with. I want to be with people who help me to be at my best, challenge me in my role. I want to be with people that bring out the best in me. Those people that, what if your yes was, I want to grow, I want to be challenged? What if there is a difference between a goal and a yes, and it all has to do with what you want? Let's say this, I want more money. And do I want more money? Who does it? You know, I want more money. But if you wanted more money, do you want to work harder? Do you want to work more? Do you want to work longer? Do you want to do it the way that we've done it for decades now? So I want more money. Is that a goal or is that a yes? Come on, y'all. We're running out of time. I got to land this plane. Is that a goal or is that a yes? Come on, come on, come on. Is it a goal or is it a yes? I want more money. Nobody's even feeling that. It's a goal. It's a goal. It's a goal. But what if, just think to yourself, why do you want more money? Why do you want more money? Why do I want more money? I can say it for you. Well, I mean, I can say it for me. And of course, y'all, those who know me know it ain't gonna even matter. But my whole thing is about being free. So my yes is I want more freedom. But y'all know me, I do it with it and I do it without it. Y'all may not know that about me. I will do it with it and I will do it without it. Because I have learned all the other stuff is going to be there. My wanting is connected to something bigger in the universe. Y'all, do you understand that? Your wanting is personal, but guess what? At the same time, it's connected to something bigger in the universe. I wanted to take sabbatical. And guess what? I wanted to be off for a month. And yes, I'm a business owner. Guess what happens? They don't send checks to business owners. There is no PTO. Forget all of that. I wanted to be off for a month. Guess what else I wanted? I wanted to travel out of this country constantly. I do. I wanted to go to Indonesia and Thailand. I wanted to visit Southeast Asia by myself. Black female solo traveler, gone for a month to another continent. Because that's what I wanted to do. You know what happened while I was in Kanaan? Kanju. It's Kanju. I'm sorry, Kanju. There is another part of Indonesia called Kanaan. But I was in Kanju, and I met a woman who was from London. Actually, she used to live in the States in Texas, but her and her husband and family live in London. Long and the short of it, this lady had lost her son to social media predator. Um, and somehow we connected. And all the way in Indonesia, I got to the side and got to know this lady and the things that she shared with me from the depths of her heart. And I asked her, could I pray with her? And she said, I'll be honest, I've lost confidence in religion and I don't practice anything anymore. I used to be a Christian, but in all of this experience, I feel like I just don't know what I can lean on anymore. I said, it's okay. You don't have to believe anything. Just allow me to be with you in this moment. If you're okay with it, I'd love to pray with you. It's okay what you believe or what you don't. There's no pressure. And I prayed with her. And I know that was a God moment. I wouldn't have been there if I hadn't said yes to the ridiculous. Yes, I'm going away for it. Similarly, met a girl on the banks of Koh Chang, very tiny island in Southeast Asia. She was Serbian, from Serbia, had no faith, and she would see me out in the mornings by the beach reading a book, and it was called, I wanted to, well, anyway. And on the last day that I was there, that she was there, actually, she left before I did, going back to Serbia. And I brought the book out. And I said, God, let me see this girl in this moment. Let her come out at the same time. And I said, if you do that, I'm going to give her this Christian devotional book because she asked about it. And I promise you, I was sitting out there by myself, catching some waves. And that girl came out. And I said, I know what to do now. I know what to do. So we struck up a little conversation. I said, oh, I'm going to be hate to see you leaving and all that good stuff. And that's why I want to give you this. You asked me about it, and I will tell you that it has been so meaningful for me to start my day with this. There's a day version and a night version, and end my night with it. And I love for you to try it out for a few days in a row. And some days you may not do it at all, but that's okay. It's one of those devotion books you can pick up anytime. And I want you to think of me. And she just thanked me so much. And since then, she has messaged me saying, that little book you gave me is pretty amazing. And every time I open it and read it, it's something that speaks to me. That's crazy. How does that happen? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I know how it happens. So all the way in another part of the world, somebody has something that is inspiring them, changing their lives because of a yes that I wanted. Why am I giving you all of that? And we're at 8:45. is because I want you to know our yes is connected to something bigger. It gets to be two things at the same time. You don't have to sacrifice and say, in the name of going out and doing missions, I'm not going to do this because I have to go and help other people. You can help other people and be free. You can help other people and have fun. You can help other people and do what you want to do. Two things can be true. So, you see the difference? It's not just goals, it's wants. What do I want? Because God said, if you're biblical here, I will give you the desires of your heart. Now it's up to you to receive the desires of your heart and to do something with them. And there are probably multiple ways to interpret that text, but not to go too deep in it. The point being is you get to have some unique desires of your own heart. So here's what I want us to do, because we are at time. I'm telling you, it gets faster and faster. I want us to spend a few minutes together, no judging, no editing, no practical thinking, just honesty. Close your eyes for a moment and just imagine. Just imagine. Imagine you wake up 1 year from today, not to your fantasy life, but your real life. Just imagine a year from now, you wake up and your real life, which by the way doesn't have to be exotically different from your fantasy life. It always comes down to honoring your no, which we talked about last week, making courageous decisions, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. And decisions do often require courage, y'all. You stopped saying no to yourself, started saying yes to your wants, and now you can see, what does my life now feel like? It's scary too. I ain't gonna lie. It's scary because we're not accustomed to feeling our way through things. We're accustomed to thinking. So I'm not saying, what does your life look like? I'm saying, what does it feel like? Look like could be a mansion with everything feel, it's picture perfect. But how do you feel in that? Because by the same token, I've been on the outskirts of the countryside of Panama in a small little, it wasn't a hut, but a small little abode made of concrete walls and fairly decent arrangements. And I felt the most peace there than you can imagine. So it's not just about what it looks like, it's what does it feel like? What does it feel like? Peace. What does that feel like? Not what does it look like? What if it felt light? What if a year from now you feel healthy? What if a year from now you feel unhurried, unrushed? What if a year from now you feel joyful? Your real life feels connected to something and someone. What if a year from now you feel, like you're on the cusp of a breakthrough? What if you feel free? Y'all know that's me. What if you feel supported a year from now? What if you feel loved? What if you feel present? What if you feel, here's the word, y'all, aligned? Feel that in your body for a moment. Whatever word may have attached to you or culture, just one of those words, or maybe it's your own word. How does that feel in your body? I know my heart is like in a good way. I feel it in my face, my smile, my cheeks. I feel it. What can you imagine would make you smile before your feet even hit the floor? What would that feel like? So we got to get out of here. I know it's folks got to get to work, including myself. I'm doing a training today, so I'm really excited this morning. Write this down, and we're going to close out with the breath. Write this down, and I want you, if you can do it now, I feel like ride the energy of now. If you can't, maybe later tonight before you go to bed. My yes sounds like, and I want you to complete that sentence. Okay? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Can somebody put it in the chat? My yes sounds like. Oh, you'll get the replay on this because I know I'm recording. Um, the life I truly want, the life I truly want feels. Thank you. The life I truly want feels. Dot, 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 dot. What does it feel? Fill in the blanks later. And if you don't know the feeling, don't write down something that's in your head. Leave it blank until there's a feeling attached. If I stopped worrying about, this is another one. If I stopped worrying about disappointing everyone else, I would what? Dot, dot, dot. If I stopped worrying about disappointing everyone else, I would dot, dot, dot. And you know what? Spirit is telling me this. For those of you who are maybe married or in a situation where you feel like it's fixed and your yes doesn't belong only to you, I want to challenge you in the moment. I want you to open up that space. That's a contraction. I want you to open that space. Open that space to possibility and imagining. Just that's all I'm going to say on that. Open up the space to possibility and imagination. Sometimes we'll shrink our yes because, but I want to, but so and but just leave it open and possible. If I wasn't disappointing and worrying about someone else, what would that be? And then I'm going to leave you with, I have permission to. And the permission comes from yourself. I've given myself, maybe that's a better way to put it. I give myself permission to. I give myself permission to want and then close it out there. All right. As we breathe in and out, I want you to close your eyes. Guide your breath any way you feel, but just make them deep. Close your eyes and deep breathe. Give me 3 breaths and I'm done. You will not build a life you want if you are unwilling to imagine. Breathe that in. Keep breathing as I speak. I will not build a life that I want if I'm unwilling to imagine. I cannot build a life that I want since I'm unwilling to imagine. Thank you again for being here with me on another episode of the Weekly Exhale as we go through this month's series, Exit Strategy. I wish you the best during this week, and I encourage you to open up your imagination because it's free and it's yours. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Until next week, we're going to build on this. We're going into execution mode, y'all. So make sure you're here and invite somebody else to be here for the fourth week of the exit strategy. Bye for now. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to do something today. Y'all don't have to stay if you can't. I was supposed to do something today on the, yeah, let me practice here. Oh my goodness. Everybody get that from the chat. Get that from the chat. You can cut and paste if you're on your computer. Cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. Okay, y'all, I'm trying to share this just because. Let me see if I can make myself, because Hamza he made me promise myself that I was going to co-host. Let's see, confirm. Okay, I don't know what just happened, but hey, I gotta do this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all can jump off if you need to. This is just me doing tech stuff.